Yeah, you're probably going to want to drive. It's always somebody in a Nissan starting problems. It never fails. So is he going to do this every single stop? He's going to stop at the light so he can play some trumpet. Pretty good. I can't hear shit you say because I'm driving too fast. But anyway. I was gonna give him a request. I want to hear him play taps. Right here has a gray CT6. Now the Chinese have a new CT6 for 2024, and it has the same interior as my Lyric does. And I would definitely get a CT6 if they brought it back to America. I'm not sure if they're going to bring it back because they actually kind of discontinued it. But the Chinese have it for 2024, and it has this interior. Like, everything looks just like this. There's pictures of it on YouTube. But if they bring that car back, I want to get that car. So, you know, I always wanted like one of those CT6s. I would get it with the bright silver paint that looks more like that paint on that car right there. Because dark gray, you know, dark gray is okay. It's just that it shows more dirt. And it's funny because my Jeep, I haven't washed that car in like months, and that car still looks clean because, you know, after it rains, that silver paint, that bright silver paint is really good at hiding dirt. And it's also really good at hiding light scratches. So it's like, I always prefer that color anyway. But yeah, definitely. If they bring the CT6 back, I would definitely get that. I'd get like a fully loaded version of it. Oh my God, with this fucking traffic. Again. It's like every day. Like, how do these people figure, how do they mess this up every day? I don't understand. Like, what are they doing? It's like they figure out a way to mess this up every single day. I understand that we've got John F. Kennedy Airport over there, and I understand that we also have a freaking casino. But how do they mess this up every single day? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. It's like a crawl. This is disgusting, going into the city. Yeah, it's nothing but try. This is ridiculous. But see, this is also part of the reason why more and more people, especially here in these big cities, more and more people are going after electric vehicles. It's really the traffic. We waste so much energy just sitting in traffic, you know? We waste so much gas. Like, most of these people who have these Jeep Grand Cherokees, they have the V6 in these cars. Most of these people do. And you can't even blame them, because now, you know, even though, you know, it's a big, heavy SUV. I mean, it's not terribly heavy, but the thing about it is at least you save some gas when you're sitting in traffic. And this is all we do every fucking day. This is all we do, sitting in traffic. This sucks. And there's nothing you can do around it, you know? So the issue is most people be trying to save energy, which oddly enough, these electric cars are way better when they're sitting in traffic or when they're in bumper-to-bumper traffic than they are when they're moving fast on a highway. Because when you're slowing down and speeding up, you actually have some time to do regenerative braking automatically, so that saves a little bit of energy. So they're extremely efficient in this kind of driving, but they're inefficient when you're doing regular highway driving. But how far can you even drive regular highway driving when there's this much traffic? It's like, it's disgusting. It's you know, I remember when they were talking about, oh yeah, we need to do something about traffic because the first responders can't get where they're going and all that bullshit. It's like, yeah, they really haven't improved it. After the pandemic, it was like traffic just increased, and it never seemed to go back down. I understand there were a lot of new people with cars on the road, but this is unforgivable. More fucking traffic. This is all this place is good for is traffic. Tesla, look at that. They got a couple of Cybertrucks in there. They have the Cybertruck on the floor, but as you can see, they got 1, 2. I think they're having a little bit of trouble. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 Cybertrucks. They got a bunch of them shits up in there. 5. That's in service. Yeah. So they're getting. Yeah, they're buying one. Yeah. That's the Cybertruck. You saw one? Oh. Yeah. So you see this stainless steel. So if you shoot this with anything smaller than like an AR-15, the bullet will dent it, but it's not going through, for one. Whoever is crazy enough to drive something like that, look what the insides look like.
But the person on Facebook, they showed it. They just had a picture of it in front of the house, or in front of something. But I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, but that's what it looks like. Like, look in there, Cybertruck.
This is a Cyber.
So when you look in there, look how much is in there. Like I told you, there's basically nothing in the car.
So how do you know what buttons to push?
Oh no, it works the same way my car. Oh, but this what they did was they made it so the turn signals are here on the steering wheel.
Yes.
Most of the buttons you would need while driving are on the steering wheel. Everything else is on the screen.
It looks like a tank.
It looks like a tank.
Some police.
You see this? This is how you open the door. So that's what the back looks like. And then it's a fingerprint magnet because it's like a refrigerator. So it's got fingerprints. Anything touches this thing.
That's it.
And then the back of it is a bed, like because it's a truck.
These are some big tires, right?
That's a truck tire. And see that? And that's the bed. So that to close up the cover, you have to push that button right there. So that's how you close it up while you're driving. Yeah, $100,000. And that's their Model X, and that one's the one that has those doors that open up like that. But that right there is the best-selling one because that's $100,000, give or take. This is $50,000. You can do it. You could sleep in there. You could put a bed. You go camping in this. And this one's the one that's selling really well because this is a family size one. But as you look in there, there ain't nothing in there. Yeah, right. That's the one. This is the one that's selling well.
At what price?
50, 40, 50. Some in between 40 and 50. It's like 50 loaded. Oh yeah, they charge you $2,000 for paint. For red.
Gotcha.
All of these cars come as gray.
Is the most popular color?
I would say the most popular color is either black or white because you have a lot of people who use them for limos. Cybertruck.
You're a family man.
You gotta have the Cybertruck.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
That looks like something you have the president ride.
Yeah. No, the president rides in a Cadillac.
Yeah, but it's built like this, though.
It's rocket proof. No, it's rocket proof. Bomb proof, rocket proof.
So if I wanted to buy this right now,
if you wanted to buy this, you'd have to give them about $130,000.
And where am I going to park it?
Wherever you feel like parking it. It's a car. It's a truck. You park it wherever you park anything else. Something else, right? Yeah. Yep. That's that.
Anybody driving something like this,
It's crazy.
that's somebody I don't want to mess with.
Exactly.
I don't want this person looking for me or my family. They be like, you driving something like this. That just says, this car is a dangerous person.
That's right.
So,
Yeah, I don't know how well these things are going to be exciting like 4 or 5 years from now, because I really don't think they will be, but you know, for right now, that's what it is. Yep. Yep.
if you weren't showing me this, I wouldn't even believe it. Like,
Yeah.
yep. Some fucking space shit.
Yeah.
Where's the license?
You're supposed to put it on. You're supposed to drill it in and add it to the front. In New York State, you have to have a front license plate. In some states, you don't.
And where do you drill the plate at?
Plastic, the bumper.
The bumper's
Yes.
plastic. Okay.
They have a bracket, and they just add it on.
This one got wings. They used to call that.
Yeah, the Falcon doors.
And what's that going for? About?
80, 90.
So right now, Tesla's the hottest thing going in cars.
I wouldn't say all that, but for the electric cars, let's say electric. For electric cars, yes. Yeah, for electric cars, yes. But for regular cars, nah, I wouldn't say them, no.
It's also for the hot pot. This is for the cooked food.
And this is the cooked food over here. So take a look. That's the cooked food.
That's what I was asking.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I have to kind of see how it works. But now I think I can go with what's here, John.
Okay.
But I want you to see how this real thing works.
All right.
Do you want the hot pot soup or you don't want the hot pot soup?
No.
How about you, sir? You want hot pot soup?
The hot pot comes with the grill too.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take. Oh, I'm
You want like the original pepper? Correct. We have original pepper, hot pepper, spicy or miso. Spicy. Spicy? And you guys want to drink?
I just want drink with iced tea or lemonade.
No problem.
Sweet iced tea.
Spicy. No problem.
Yes. No. Thank you.
Okay. So this
Now
round,
you got to get your steak in order to grill your steak. Oh, they got sausages too. All right. Medium rare. You like your steak well done. You do it yourself. So you cook it to whatever temperature and all that you want.
this is a new concept of this.
No, this is Korea. This is old. When I was in Korea, they had this. And this in the soup pot. It's electric. It's electric grill, electric grill, electric pot. Going to Sofritos.
He says that.
Sofritos, Manhattan. Right here, we're getting some Spanish Puerto Rican cuisines.
Don't panic. Don't panic.
Yeah, there we go. The whole shoulder. They gave you the whole shoulder, the pig shoulder. The whole shoulder of the pig. They took them out back. They chopped them up. That's right. That's right. You ordered that. Yeah. It's a little different than Elena's. A little different than Elena's. What'd I say? Oh, thank you, son. Yeah, how the hell am I supposed to eat this? They ordered the seafood. Yeah, it's cool. Oh yes, it's a dessert sampler. They got cheesecake on there. Tres leches and cheesecake. Yeah, so there's tres leches cheesecake. Mercedes-Benz S-Class. And then there's my car. Here I am again. It's in the morning time. I got here about an hour ago. I already did my shopping. And I got here. There was nobody here for... there's nobody here since at least 7 o'clock. And I got right here. I'm doing my charging to start the week off. It's Sunday. So basically I went over to the Dollar Tree. I got some, groceries. I got this Monster Energy Ultra Golden Pineapple, and it says 0 sugar on it. And it actually tastes very good. The taste of pineapple is pretty good in there. So I got a couple of these from that Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is a really good store, but I have to say Family Dollar is actually better because they have more name brand items. Like I got some no-name window cleaner, and then what I did was while I was just, prone and just sitting here, I washed my windows. So I washed all the way around the car, all the windows, and I also did the Ultra View moonroof, and the car is sparkling. Like as you can see in the video that I post, I went to a restaurant, this Puerto Rican restaurant called Sofrito in Manhattan. And they valet park your car, right? So they give you a ticket, they valet park your car. When I requested my car to come out, they brought the car to the front of the restaurant and they let it just sit there, and the car was on and you could see all the lights and everything. And I had like a lot of people complimenting me, like, oh wow, is that your Cadillac? And I was like, yeah, that's my Cadillac. That's right. Yeah, it's all electric. Wow, that's a really nice car. And I gotta say, like, I'm loving this car. I just put 4,000 miles on this car. And I think the mandatory service that they have us do is 7,000 miles. So I got, I just crossed 4,000 miles. Car's doing fantastic. The one thing that actually kind of worries me, and it's not that it worries me, but the one thing that does kind of bother me is when it comes time to get new tires. These fucking tires are expensive. These are Michelin, what is this shit? These are Michelin, the size is 275/40 R22, and that's 107H. So these are definitely high load tires. simply because this is such a heavy car. This thing weighs 6,000 pounds with the driver. And these tires are like $400 a piece. Now, when I bought this car, what I also did, and anybody who buys one of these cars, you're going to be offered wheel and tire protection, right? That's basically their excuse to get more money out of you. I paid it. So the reason why I paid it was because when you're riding around on 22s and you have shitty American New York streets, they will bust your fucking rims hitting the road. Like, I hit a pothole last night. Fortunately, there was no damage. But you gotta have that wheel and tire protection, because if you bust a rim, these rims can range anywhere from like 800 to 1,000 plus. Because even with when we had the Mercedes S-Class, those rims were $1,500 a piece. You know, and that's that's a hell of a lot of money to spend on just a rim. You know, so these wheels are protected, so I don't have to worry about nothing. But here I am. As you can see, they got 2 Teslas right here. Both of these guys are TLC. So these guys are taxi limos, and nobody else is here. But now it's Sunday morning, so you assume that most people either partied last night, or most of these people at church, like that church over there. So most of these people really don't show up until like later, because they have stuff that they do. And a lot of these people have houses out here, because as I've told you, when you're in Long Island, basically most of these people pretty much have houses. And the reason why they buy electric cars is specifically because they have to drive such long distances. Like, for example, within the last 2 days, I basically drove like 500 miles. And obviously that, necessitated me to, come back to the charger. Because when you drive to the city, you drive back, and you're doing like average of like 70 or 80 miles an hour, you run out of power pretty quickly. So yeah, it's not really a big deal. And as you know, with my what's that guy? That looks like a Hellcat. It sounds like a Hellcat, but I can't really tell. It could be one of them shitty ass Scat Packs that has no badge on it. I don't know. But as I was saying, I've got free charging for the next 2 years. When my charging runs out, I'm not using these public chargers at all. But for right now, I'm using these. And people put me on to the fact that they have 3 new chargers at Westbury. And from the looks of it, I think they're getting rid of that Nissan Leaf adapter, the CHAdeMO. And I'm hoping to God that that's so. But even if it's not a big deal. They can still accommodate up to 6 cars, because there's 3 machines, and each machine has 2 sides. So I'm hoping that the new machines that they just set up, I'm hoping that they have a dual CCS combo, which is what my car needs, because this way you'll be able to charge 6 cars at a time. You get those 6 cars, you get these 2 chargers right here, and that's actually a decent amount of charging in now that you've got more, because the problem is in like a 10-mile radius, there's not enough chargers. But as they're adding more chargers, now I'm starting to feel a lot better about the purchase, because this time, instead of having to drive 10 miles to use these chargers, I'll only have to drive like 5. So I'm actually very, very, very excited about that. I think those chargers will be online within the next couple of weeks, because I drove by them yesterday, and they'd taken down like that goosenet, the orange wire and shit to keep you out. They'd taken all that down. I'm pretty sure that these chargers in Westbury are going to be open very soon. But other than that, the car is handling fine. I haven't had any technological issues. It was worth I'll just say it like this. It was worth the wait. It was absolutely worth the wait. I must say though, the only thing that would probably stop me from keeping this car, which might not even be a problem, is the fact that as I've been sitting on these white seats, you can pretty much see that these things have started wearing, because, I usually wear like black. I usually wear like black jeans, either black or blue pants, right? So this white, as I expected, has started to take on the color of my pants. Now, this is just a cushion, and so is this backrest. it may be possible to simply swap out this cushion. I could take this cushion out because this is just a cover, really. This is like padded foam, and then there's a cover so that this way they can easily swap the colors when they want to. I might be able to simply buy this and that's it, because the passenger side hasn't taken on any colors. So I'm the rest of the car is still as white as it started with. Now, I think the only other part that might get dingy is right here where I put my arms and everything. But this is easy to swap out. You can get that part. I might be able to get that detailed and cleaned. I'm not sure. But other than that, the car is fucking fantastic. It's held up like a champ, you know? And I had gotten these rubber mats and everything. I was looking on eBay. They have like these luxury white, gray stitched mats that you can buy. They're like $90. You can buy them for the front and the back. I don't know if I would do that, but because, you know, white, obviously it's going to get really, really dirty really, really fast. But the thing about it is you can always swap those parts out when they get dirty. This part over here on the door is okay. This hasn't gotten dirty yet. This has stayed pretty nice. Even though I put my arm on this, it's stayed pretty nice. I always keep microfiber cloths to clean that. But so far, so good. Got a BZ4X owner. BZ4X owner right here. He's plugging and charging. Yeah. Let me get my can. And so far, so good. I'm almost done. Yeah. So they gave you 1 year free.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Once you sign up on the app, it'll ask you like whatever your code is for the free charging. And once you enter that, all you have to do is basically, it's a very quick registration. And once you do that, you don't have to do it ever again.
Why not?
This is for a password. So if you want to make your own password, you can make your own password.
New passport, right?
If you want to make your own. If you want to use what they gave you, you can just use that as a strong password. If you want to make your own, you push other options.
For my passport,
To
right?
make your own.
This one, right? So I make a passport, right?
Yes, you make your own. And I think that's going to ask you twice because it's going to ask you to confirm it. Mere fact that this is green, it says, you see where it says connection successful. When you want to check it, you touch here and then you can see 75%. Your battery is already at 75%. So if you're filling it up, that's fine, right? It's just that you have to remember, when you're low on power, it charges fast. If you have a lot of power, it charges slow. Okay. So yeah, you're good. So, but what you're gonna want to do is go to the auto charge thing. But that's how you know it's charging. Now your car doesn't beep, but as long as you see it green, you're good.
Okay. Yeah. So this,
Go to auto charge.
Auto charge.
Go back to the EV. Go right here. And okay. I think they already enrolled you, so you it's already done. And then you see how it says charge is in progress. This tells you, okay, got it. Vehicle is charging. And then, no, this tells you about your session. It says a 60-minute limit of time. Because it usually doesn't take more than an hour to charge a car this battery size. So that's it. So you're good.
I need to charge the 1 hour?
Well, I'll tell you what. You're at 75%. It may take you 40 minutes, 45 minutes. But probably no more than an hour because you only have 1/4 left that you have to charge. So you should be good. Yeah, that's my full 307 miles. And now you can see this Nissan Aria pulled up. And I'm out of here. So that's the thing. I got here at about 7:30. And now it is 9:02. So it basically took me an hour and a half. And I basically put 200 and, what was it? I put about 220 miles into the car within an hour and a half. So as it doesn't cost me money to actually drive this car, besides paying for the car note, the lease note, the only real cost is time. But the thing about it is, it's not that hard to figure out how to squeeze one of these things into your schedule. Because the thing about it is, I have to do grocery shopping every single week because I usually buy just enough groceries to get through the week because I don't like to waste anything. But for the most part, it's not that hard. It's really not that bad. And I always say the same thing. I do understand that electric is not going to work for some people. I was trying to tell my father, for example, I was like, listen, you have to be a patient person to have electric. You can't be a person who's, jumpy and edgy and shit. You can't be the type of person who's afraid to be out in public. Like, you can't suffer from agoraphobia. And you also can't be the type of person who's impatient. I have a lot of patience. So for me, like, owning an electric vehicle has been exciting, just like this guy right back there. This guy, he didn't know how to charge his car. So, I helped him figure out how to download the app, and I helped him, get charging, and as a person who's a former computer salesman, as a person who's I used to be in electronic sales. I worked in Best Buy, I worked in Circuit City, and that was before I started selling houses and I started refinancing mortgages. I like selling shit. I really do. I'm a born salesperson. I love it. It's like I could sell ice to Eskimos if it really came down to it. But, I don't mind helping people. Like, this is like the 4th or 5th person who's asked, my help, at the charger. And because of my expertise in electronics, that guy took off the plate on his wheel. One of his wheels, his hubcap fucking fell off. Why are you driving around with 3 hubcaps? Take the other. These people, they have no sense of aesthetic. But anyway, oh, look, this guy's got a Porsche. What is that? Is that a Taycan? What is that? No, that's one of those boring-ass little Carreras or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I'm a born salesperson, and I don't mind helping people because my customer service is fabulous. Like, I have excellent customer service. So, yeah, it's no skin off my back. I don't mind. I don't mind at all. So, yeah, get right back on the road. I may have to take my Jeep out because I've left my Jeep and it hasn't been driven. I may have to take the Jeep out, give it a little, charge, let the alternator charge, get that rust off the wheels. I may have to do that. Because usually what I try to do is what I'm trying to do is make it so that in my schedule that I don't drive this car on Saturday or Sunday, and I drive the Jeep, so I give it its, a little workout every week. The only downside is when you drive the Jeep, now you gotta buy fucking gas, and I've been trying to avoid that shit. So, it kind of sucks. Like, if I had 2 electric vehicles, it'd be a hell of a lot easier maintaining both of them than having 1 gas vehicle and 1 electric vehicle, Because the thing about it is gas is like $4 or something a gallon. It's like, I ain't trying to pay that shit. So and even if I do put the Jeep on a trickle charger, you still run into the issue with the rust, because the rust starts rusting onto the rotors and it starts corroding, Eventually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get brand new wheels, brand new tires, and I'm going to do a full brake job all around. But even then, you still run into the exact same problem. If the car is sitting, the car is sitting. There's no way to avoid it. The car is just sitting. So it's like, having to maintain multiple cars. It's like me, I'm not actually the type of person who I'd rather just have 1 car. It's just that my Jeep is paid off and it belongs to me. So, it is what it is. It's like, these are what rich people problems, I guess you could say. It's like, oh my goodness, how am I going to take care of both my Bugatti and my Rolls Royce? I'm going to have to hire somebody. It is what it is. It's a nice day out here. It's a beautiful Sunday. Very beautiful. So right here, you've got a father in the car. He got his Tesla, and he's got his kids in the car, and everybody's having a good time. That is fantastic. So basically, I'm out here charging up this damn car, and Basically, as you can see, no check engine light, no battery. But I'm pretty sure my battery is probably, it needs to either be trickle charged, but I really can't do that. I have to drive it in order to charge it. But as you can see, it's like I'm back down to like 1/4 of my fuel gauge. So, you know, again, it is what it is. It's like when I drive out here, using up all this damn fuel, all this gasoline, what are you gonna do? But it's nice outside. It's 59 degrees according to that clock, but on my watch it says it's actually 67. So that's actually a great thing. You know, so it's a nice day. We had a little sun shower, but it's over. Oh shit, what the this guy's just stopped? What are you doing? What is this guy doing? Oh shit. What happened? What, did he hit his bike? Oh shit, his bike. Oh, that guy hit his bike. Oh damn. Wrecked the man's bike. How you gonna hit the man's bike? This guy's riding around like he's Evel Knievel, and you gonna hit his bike. Oh my God, you gotta be so careful. These people aren't being careful. What's wrong with these people? Whoa, look at that. It's an apple juice bottle. I don't want to run that over. Boy, it's a nice day. It's a nice day. Oh shit, there it is. Battery voltage low. Yeah, so basically what it is my battery, I'm probably going to end up having to get a new battery eventually. I ain't going to do it right now because, see, the thing about it is, it's like I'm going to baby this car, get my new wheels, tires. I can get a battery later. But I know that this car's alternator is fine because I got a brand new alternator. About 2 years ago, I got a brand new alternator, so the alternator is fine. The problem is the battery. Now, I could get a battery charger, and I could attach this thing to the battery charger and try charging it for a very long time. But the problem ultimately is I only drive this car like maybe once a week. You know? What I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to start driving this car on Saturdays and Sundays. And I'll drive the Cadillac just Monday through Friday. So if I do that, if I only stick to Monday through Friday, I'll be able to drive that car, charge that car right before the weekend, and then pull this car out on Saturday and Sunday. But unfortunately, that brings about the other issue, the gas cost. Because as you can see, what is this? Gas is fucking $4.13 credit. But I'm pretty sure if it's $4.13, no matter what, it's over $4. Since Biden is doing such a great job in the Middle East, gas is still $4 a gallon. You know, since he's doing such a great job. But, you know, it is what it is. But my thinking is I'm probably going to try to drive this car only 2 days a week on the weekend. And I'll drive the Cadillac Monday through Friday. But see, my problem is the Cadillac is so much fun to drive that it's like I almost don't want to drive this car, you know, but I have to drive this car, otherwise this car is going to die, you know. So, oh, look at this shit. Look at another, listen, you fucking I should run this goddamn Honda Accord off the road. Yeah, get out of my way. Look at this guy, this freaking Amazon delivery guys. Look at that, look at that, look at that atrocious looking car right there. Jesus Christ, what'd you do to that car? Oh my God. Nice day out here though. Yeah, so basically the only reason my battery light came on was battery saver mode. Usually it'll go off. I'm guessing it's like a code that gets removed or something when the car is off long enough. But I know I definitely need another battery. But it's not a big deal because, you know, battery's like what, 150, 200 bucks, something like that. You know. Yeah, so Oh, look at this guy. Yeah, it's a nice day. It's a very nice day. But I am right now, like, I've been making content only like probably like once a week. And the thing about it is I'm waiting for Dodge to start getting in the electric chargers, because I want to test drive the electric Dodge Charger. And I want to make a video of that, just like I did with that Wrangler 4xe. And I noticed that there's some people who finally started asking a question. I've been already saying this, but they finally started asking a question. They're like, wait a minute, why are the Dodge Charger EVs coming in 2024 and they're going to wait until 2025 for the twin-turbo Hurricane? Why can't they put the gas car out now? Well, you answered your own question right there. The reason why they're putting the EV out is because they want everybody to see that the future of this car is electric. They want everybody to see that car as an electric car. So after you have that car rolling around for an entire year, after you have that car rolling around from summer of 2024 to maybe summer of 2025, they want everybody who sees a new Charger to look at it and say, oh, that must be electric. They don't even want you to know that that shit has a gas engine in it. See, these people at Stellantis, they don't give a shit about Mopar owner. They don't give a shit about Mopar owners. They don't give a shit about, like, the consternations of Dodge buyers. They don't care about you anymore. Like, you're dealing with the Dutch. The Dutch have been some of the worst colonizers in the history of colonization. Probably worse than the English. And the thing about it is, these people don't care. They bought you, and now they're going to ruin you. And that's the reality. And I don't like Mustangs. So all these people saying, oh, yeah, well, I'm just going to go buy a Mustang. I'm going to go buy a Mustang. It's like, I don't like Mustangs. They're too small, and they're too impractical. What did I say about SRT products? I said the reason why SRT products sell so well is because they're big, huge, and they're fucking fast. They're practical. Okay, he seems to be having a good time. These cars are big, huge, and fucking fast. Mustangs are not big. Mustangs are not huge. And to some extent, they're not even fucking fast. Now, this truck, I can fit an entire family of 5 in it. And we can all be comfortable. And you can't do that in that Mustang. You can't put no family of 5 in it, not unless everybody's like, Chinese and it's small people. Maybe you could get a family of 5 in there, but it wouldn't be comfortable. You need like little 5-foot tall people like from like Indonesia or something. It doesn't make any sense. But see, these Dodge cars and these Jeep cars, before Stellantis ruined them, you could get a whole family of 5 in these things, but you can't do that with the little Mustangs. So all these people, oh yeah, well, Mustang said that they're gonna keep building V8s until forever. It's like, no, they're not. No, they're not. They'll build V8s for maybe about the next 5-6 years, and then after that, government mandates are gonna say, no, you can't do that no more, and then they're just gone. Same thing for the Corvette. Before you know it, that E-Ray is gonna be fully electric, and that's all you can buy. That's what they do. That's the government. Government is bullies. And they don't just take your lunch money one day. They take it every day. But as soon as my Chrysler Jeep Dodge dealer, as soon as they get the Charger EV, I'm going to drive that car. And to tell you the truth, I already believe that what I'm expecting is it to drive exactly like my Cadillac, because they basically have the same things in common. They're 5,800 pounds, and they have top speeds under 155 miles per hour. So I pretty much know what to pretty much expect. And then they're saying that the things are going to be between like 480 or 450 and 500 horsepower. But of course they're gonna microtransaction you, and they're gonna make you pay for more power, right? So I pretty much already know what to expect, because Chrysler seems to be doing the same shit Cadillac was doing, where even on my car, there's like supposedly a velocity upgrade where you can upgrade the car through a microtransaction and it makes it a little bit faster. It's like, yo, first of all, this is a lease. My Cadillac, I'm not going to keep that car, so I wouldn't buy an upgrade that I have no intention of keeping the car. It doesn't make sense, you know. But, you know, if they had a car with that upgrade already in it, I might test drive it. But as far as I'm concerned, my car is fast enough. You know, I don't need any upgrades like that. Look at this shit. This light always fucking traps you. Now, look at that S-Class. That thing looks like an aircraft carrier. That thing is huge. Look at that. Is that Keisha driving it? Is that Keisha? They got Keisha driving the S-Class. Hey, Keisha, how you doing, Keisha? That's right. You got Keisha driving the S-Class. That's right. You on YouTube, honey. Got that wig. Got that wig on. So anyway, I love that car, man. And that's the old S-Class. You can get those for about $40,000. And I love that car. You remember I had that car. I was making videos with it. That was a good car. But the new one is nice. It's just not as nice as the old one. It's like all the new stuff sucks. Everything new is just boring. It's just like, I don't know what to say. It's just boring. But that car back there, that S-Class, the W222, that thing has a road presence like an aircraft carrier. Nothing else. And they wonder why they're having so much trouble selling those stupid EQSs. And those EQSs don't have road presence. They're shaped like fucking eggs. And then they're small inside. Like, they're not big enough inside. They're not big enough. If you were big, huge, and fucking fast, then you wouldn't have a problem selling. See, I think what it is Americans want big cars. And even especially these women having a big car gives them a feeling of superiority over men. So they want these big cars. Look at this. What the hell's going on here? So they want big cars because it gives them superiority over men, right? So if you make a car, it doesn't have to necessarily... Is this a girls' club? It doesn't have to be a perfect car, but if you make it big, huge, and fucking fast, people will buy it. And that's my belief. And everything big and huge sells. Like, look at those Ford Explorers. It's like, that's like one of the most boring SUVs there is. But it's big, it's huge, and you can get the ST model, so that kind of makes it fast, you know? It's not fucking fast, but it's fast. It's, well, not really. I mean, it's kind of slow, actually. You know, but it's big and huge, so you can fit a lot of people in it. But that's what it really comes down to. Even the Tesla Model X, big, huge, you can fit a family of 7 in there, and it's fast. You know? If you're in America, big, huge, and fucking fast. Think about the NFL. All the guys in the NFL, they're big, huge, and fucking fast. Think about the NBA. These guys are big, huge, and fucking fast. This guy's like 7 feet tall, for God's sakes. You know, if you're in America, that's what it is. If it's big, huge, fucking fast. As long as you do those things, you're good. But when you start trying to sell us Fiats and Alfa Romeos and shit, nobody wants that bullshit. Nobody wants that shit. I'm trying to let see these. Look at this. Look how fast my ride is, honey. Look how fast we are. These guys look like noobs. They're on like little scooters with 3 wheels and shit. Like, what the hell's going on here? Oh, this person's a Delta. Get off that phone. The freaking light is green. Yeah, it's getting hot out here. It's 62 degrees. It's getting hot out here. My thing says 67. But it's 62, according to the car. Look at this, people. Look at this. I'm gonna let them catch up. I wanna see this thing. Look at this thing. It's a tricycle. It's a nice day out here for this. Riding these little motorbikes. Nice day. nice day out here. It's a nice day. It's a very nice day. It's a nice day. It's a nice day for a little bit of Sunday driving. I guess I can drive this car maybe 2 more times before I need to get more gas in it. But I really think what I got to start doing is I'll just drive my Cadillac during the week and then drive this during the weekends just to make sure it gets a little bit of a workout, you know? Oh, look, the cops. The cops are there. The cops. Bye-bye, officer. I wonder when Volkswagen's going to get the ID7, because that actually was kind of a cool car. It had problems, but I did like what I saw. It was pretty cool, actually. I would never buy one, though. I don't think I'll ever be in a Volkswagen. I don't think I'll ever buy a Volkswagen. There's too many better options. It's a nice car, though. We just hit 90,300 miles. I'm still a ways away from 100,000 miles, but it's not bad. So that's the problem. This car is actually it's amazing. This was actually a really good product. Like, I don't know how Jeep, Dodge, and Chrysler actually built this car and didn't manage to fuck it up. Like, they did screw up certain things. Like, I've complained about these carbon fiber inlays. They call them appliques. And how I've had to have these things replaced a couple of times. And I have the new ones, but I just haven't put them on because I barely ever drive the car. But other than that, the car has held up perfectly. I mean, like, I look at this dashboard, as much heat as this thing has been subjected to, it hasn't peeled, it hasn't cracked, it still retains the leather stitch look, it still looks relatively new. The navigation system still works pretty good. You know, every now and then it does go a little wonky and it doesn't know where it is, but for the most part it works pretty well. The HVAC system, I had that recharged, that works pretty well. The roof, I've never gotten leaks out of the roof, so the roof has worked pretty well. You know, this was actually a decent product. I'm actually amazed that Chrysler Dodge didn't fuck this up too. But then what did they do? They took the SRT badge off. You don't even get SRT on nothing no more. You buy a Scat Pack, doesn't say SRT. You get a Trackhawk, doesn't say SRT. That, to me, right there, that's when they lost me. I swear to God. That and the fact that I realized that they weren't going to give us a 300 Hellcat, that's when they lost me as a customer. Like, I doubt that I'll be buying any of their products ever again. I doubt it. Especially with the Dutch Stellantis idiots running the shit into the ground. I really doubt it. I'll go to BMW. I'll go to Mercedes. I'll go to Cadillac. I just don't think I can't see myself buying their product no more. I just can't. This was like their last great achievement. Like, the Hellcats, you could also count that. But even the Hellcats, it was like there was missing shit. Like, you didn't have your front sensors. You didn't have adaptive cruise control. You get in the Hellcat, you got buttons missing and shit off of the wheel. It's like, I was just so disappointed with them. It was like, is this the best you can do? You can do better, but you're not even trying. It's like, yeah, you're losing me. And then they want to charge you up the ass. They want to charge you $100,000 for a Hellcat, plus they want a markup. It's like, nah, man, you've lost me. I'm done. I am done. Hey, they got a white Ford Bronco. I wonder if OJ's interested. Oh, look at this. Look at this Tesla. It's all fucked up. It's got QR codes all over it. That's weird. Yeah, it's a nice day. Okay, so other YouTubers have pretty much already talked about this, but despite seeing them talk about it, to tell you the truth, listening to them talk about it, I was so bored listening to them talk about it that I pretty much didn't finish watching any of their videos. I'm not going to name names about who was talking about this, but the bottom line is I just couldn't bring myself to finish watching their videos because I swear it was so boring. And to tell you the truth, I really think that the lack of excitement is ultimately what has already killed this car. So this is about the Dodge Charger Daytona order guide. Reveals some very cool options for the EV, right? So as you already know, very, very soon, these Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram dealerships are going to be getting shipments of these Charger EVs, right? So they lazily made a two-door Charger EV, and then what they did was they took the exact same, for the most part, overall body style, and they made a four-door. So now they have a four-door Charger, which, you know, the last generation of Charger was four doors, but then they have the two-door Charger, which, you know, back in, you know, the 60s, the 70 version of the Charger was a two-door. So they've tried to kind of go back to the roots, but they've done it introducing an electric vehicle. And from what I can see, there's really nothing to be excited about. I believe that when I do drive that car, because as soon as the dealers get them, I'm going to go and I'm going to test drive one. I'm going to make a small video test driving it. But for the most part, this car is 5,800 pounds, and the initial horsepower that they're offering is only like around, like, give or take a couple of horsepower. It's like 500 horsepower, right? There's a single motor unit, which has less horsepower, and that's pretty much how EVs are basically sold. Usually there's a single motor that's somewhere around 300 to anywhere between 300 and 380 horsepower. But then there's a dual motor version that's somewhere around 500, possibly even 600. And the reality is, when you're dealing with this much weight, this car is much, much heavier than a Tesla Model S. It's also much, much, much heavier than a Tesla Model 3. And now they have a Model 3 with high performance coming. I believe it's the ludicrous Model 3. They may even have a plaid Model 3. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to label it because nothing's official yet. But the reality is, this thing is really, really heavy. It's longer than the current Dodge Charger, but from what I've seen, pretty much all EVs basically drive basically the same. But from what I've seen, this thing offers like no, how should I say it? It offers no advantage over buying a Tesla, especially if you're spending a large amount of money. Tesla has the plaid mode, which runs like 9.5 all day long. And you're spending about $100,000 for that. And right now, Dodge's dealers, they're trying to get $100,000 for every wide body Hellcat that they sell, which, ultimately those cars have a higher top speed. And even though they don't accelerate from 0 to the quarter mile as fast as these electric cars do, the simple fact is they have a much higher top speed. And, the purists who want to have engines that they can finagle, or transmissions that they can work with, or whatever. These cars, you can't do any of that. So once again, it's like, I believe that the Dodge enthusiasts who actually like to do work on their cars, they're never going to buy these things. So really quickly, I'll just go through some of the information. It's like, it says Dodge Charger Daytona EV order guide reveals exciting options for first edition models. 2 configurations available for Charger Daytona RT, and 3 for the Scat Pack. Pricing for first edition models yet to be released, and it's also kind of interesting that they're holding back on releasing the prices, because ultimately what they want is you're going to get sticker shock. We've known for a while that a Dodge Charger SRT was about $50,000. Now, I remember that when I had my Chrysler 300 SRT, My Chrysler 300 SRT was about $58,000. It was the Charger SRT that was about $50,000. And the Scat Pack was basically a cheaper version of the Charger SRT, which was released for, less than $50,000, depending upon what options you added on. When this car comes out and they see these cars hit dealerships, chances are these cars are going to exceed $50,000. Right then and there, you're going to know exactly how much more you're paying than if you were getting a gas version of this car. My guess is that these things could be anywhere between 55 and 60. But again, it's going to be sticker shock. You're going to have to wait and see. We're not going to know until these things actually start hitting dealers, and they haven't started hitting dealers probably until about July. So we'll have to find out. It says the order guide for the Dodge Charger Daytona EV is already with the dealers, and thankfully it has been shared with Mopar insiders to give us a sneak peek at the upcoming options for the first edition models. This follows the recent rumor that a cheaper rear-wheel drive GT version of the electric Dodge Charger is already in the works. Oh yeah, I have no doubt that they will be making a rear-wheel only version of this car. The thing about it is, anybody who understands electric vehicles should know that an electric version with rear wheel only is going to be slow. And when I say slow, it may take it up to 7 seconds to reach 60 miles per hour from a standstill. So anyway, it says according to the leaked dealer order guide, 2 configurations are available for the Charger Daytona RT, while the Scat Pack version gets 3. As expected, Dodge's direction connection upgrade. I thought it was called direct connection, but anyway, that adds extra electric ponies comes with each configuration, with varying stages depending on the configuration. Okay. Charger Daytona RT configurations. The configurations for the Charger Daytona RT focus on offering better amenities over maximum performance. Configuration 1 has everything covered, including dark aluminum wheels and badges. However, Configuration 2 will offer the red interior package, which includes demonic red seats with silver contrast stitches. So they're saying that you get plus 40 horsepower, leather performance seats, ventilated front seats, heated second row seats, interior ambient lighting, 16-inch gauge cluster. So most likely these cars are going to come with basic heated seats, but you're going to have to get a configuration upgrade in order to add the ventilated seats. So premium LED headlamps with cross-car LED DRL signature light, illuminated door handles, fixed and tinted full glass roof. So the question is whether or not they're going to offer the powered moonroof, which chances are they will. Alpine Pro 18 speaker premium sound system with subwoofer with 914 watt amp. Dark 20-inch by 19-inch aluminum wheels. 255/45 R20 AS tires. Dark RT fender badges. Okay, but if you get Charger Daytona RT configuration 2, it's plus 40 horsepower. Leather performance seats, ventilated front seats, heated second row seats, interior ambient lighting, blah, blah, blah. See, this, when I was watching these other people's videos, this is pretty much where I started nodding away. I just did something else. It got boring. Because to tell you the God's honest truth, I don't understand what they're trying to really get me excited for. But anyway, it says, as expected, the Scat Pack configurations focus more on higher horsepower and track-oriented upgrades. Nobody's driving one of these fucking things on the track, I'm telling you. With the exception of a couple of car reviewers, it's just not going to happen. But anyway, particularly with Track Pack and Direct Connection Stage 2 upgrade, increasing the EV's output to 670 horsepower. Scat Pack Configuration 1 has everything but the kitchen sink, while Configuration 2 adds a bit of luxury to the mix. Configuration 3 foregoes better cabin appointments for the fixed glass roof and a premium audio system. So they're saying it adds 80 horsepower, red Brembo 6-piston fixed front rotors, 305 fronts and 325 tires in the rear, high back leather suede performance seats, drive experience recorder. So this thing is going to use the front camera to record what you're seeing, and USB data output. So basically, I'm going to call it now. Whoever buys one of these things, or anybody who buys one of these things, chances are you're going to end up self-snitching and getting yourself locked up if you try speeding and recording yourself speeding and then upload it to social media. In fact, I may even read it off. There was a recent post about someone who was driving his Charger Hellcat at such a high speed, the town came after him and locked his car away. I think they arrested him, but basically they said you're not even allowed to drive your own car. I'm going to pull up that story in a little while. Might as well, since it's kind of related. Okay, so it says ventilated front seats, heated second row seats, interior ambient lighting, heads-up display, premium LED headlamps, anything else, carbon fiber stuff. Now, to tell you the truth, after owning the Chrysler 300 SRT, honestly, I'm not really a fan of how they do carbon fibers, so I'm going to have to see what those inlays look like, because if they're those same shitty carbon fiber stickers that I've had to have replaced multiple times on my Chrysler 300 SRT and my Jeep SRT, you can keep them, but we'll see. So anyway, that's configuration 2, and then I'll get to configuration 3, which, I'm just going to go straight to the top. Plus 80 horsepower, red Brembo, 6-piston front rotors, 305 front, 325 rear, high back leather, suede performance seats, drive experience recorder with front camera and USB data, fixed and tinted full glass roof, Alpine Pro 18 speaker premium system with the 914 watt amp. So from what it looks like, there's a possibility that this car may not offer a powered moonroof. The sunroof is the one that allows the sun to simply come through, but you can't open it. The moonroof is the one you can open. So because weight savings on a car that's already 5,800 pounds, I'll tell you right now, nobody is going to really, really track these things, because you're going to get embarrassed. First of all, it's like whatever energy you drive to the track with, you're going to have to rely on that in order to do whatever trying to drag race you're trying to do. So unless there's a charging station like right there, you're going to have issues preparing the car, because you actually have to precondition the battery in order to get maximum performance. So yeah, I'm sure that there are going to be people who buy these things and they're going to try to run them on the track to make YouTube content and everything. But for the most part, the average track event, ain't nobody going to really want to have to deal with one of these things. There's no point. You're going to get annihilated by, most of the other tuned up Hellcats. You're going to get annihilated. But anyway, it says Dodge has yet to release the pricing for its first edition models, but we'll likely hear about them a little bit more this month. That's because dealers will be assigned their allocation on the week of April 22nd. What's today? Today is the 17th. Okay? So that means next week they should be getting their allocations, right? Customers must use this website to determine which dealers have allocations for first edition models. You got to use this horsepower locator. Okay. And I think it says, of note, the first edition models are available in 3 colors: diamond black, triple nickel, and white knuckle. White knuckle. Okay. So they throw a couple of pictures here, a couple of pictures of the car. But this, to tell you the truth, there's nothing really exciting about it. It's like, to me, this Charger EV looks exactly like a Dodge Challenger SXT. There's no hood scoop this time around, simply because a hood scoop is anti-aerodynamic in a big way. So they don't have any hood scoops. The only, inlets that they actually need are the ones at the bottom where the air rushes over the battery. Of course, they have inlets for the air conditioning unit in order to heat exchange with the atmosphere. But there's no, I always felt that the Dodge Charger, it didn't look good until it got the Hellcat hood, which really bothered me because with the Jeep Trackhawk, they didn't give it the Hellcat hood. And with the Dodge Durango Hellcat, they did give it the Hellcat hood. But these cars don't look good at all unless they have that Hellcat hood. Like, there's some people, who get excited for Scat Packs. I don't. Like, I like seeing the Super Scat Packs that actually have Hellcat hoods on them. And the newer Super Scat Packs that they were selling had red-eye hoods. Because at a certain point, I believe it was between 2020 and 2023, Dodge, what they started doing was they started putting red-eye parts on regular Scat Packs. And I was like, wait a minute. If I spend $90,000 or more for a red-eye Hellcat, I don't want anybody else having a car that looks like mine and their car being so ridiculously cheaper. Because if they just take that Super Scat Pack and they tuned up the muffler or got a Borla or got a Corsa, their car would not only be louder and sound better than my Hellcat Red Eye, but their car would look just like my car, and the only difference is I have a Hellcat badge and they don't. And, like, nobody's really racing on the streets for the most part because it's too dangerous. Most of these cars are getting wrecked. Drivers are literally flipping these cars over and getting killed. So the reality is you've got people who are driving around in freaking Super Scat Packs that look just like red eyes. To me, that's just, it's like, I don't, that's just cringe. It's like, if I spend this kind of money on a car, I don't want your car looking like mine. It's just that simple. And, so there's some people, oh, yeah, well, you went out and bought an electric crossover SUV. It's like, for the time being, I'm one of the few people that has a car that looks exactly like mine, and that's what I like. I don't want anybody having a car that looks exactly like mine. Now, I understand that this is mass market material and everybody's going to be able to buy the stuff, but the thing about it is I like getting my stuff early, and this way I can dump it and get something newer later on while the people who came behind me are stuck in, what I used to have. That's how I like doing it. But with this market, you really can't really do that because there's not enough new products for you to say, yeah, I'm going to go get something and nobody else can have it. But, it's not that simple anymore. But that's all they have to say. It's like they're talking about, stages and upgrades and microtransactions. So basically what they're saying is if you want more power, you're going to have to pay us through the internet and we'll send an update to your car that updates your car. It's like, I don't think that that's going to go over very well because the reality is no matter how much power you put into these cars, you've got to visit that public charger sooner or later. And when you've got to go, to that public charger, that's when you're really going to find out whether or not an electric vehicle is for you. See, the thing that you don't understand if you don't own one of these cars is you don't understand actual ownership of an electric vehicle. And I've had this argument with people online, but if you're the type of person who you don't do any road trips, you don't drive more than 300 miles a day, or you don't drive more than 300 miles on average, an electric car can very well work right into your routine. But if you're the type of person who's impatient and you don't want to be at charging stations arguing with people, because, people come right up. Usually when I'm at the charger, it's like a lot of times I get there and there's nobody else there and I start charging, and usually people don't arrive until I'm basically finished. Like, for example, today's Wednesday and I didn't charge today, but I will charge tomorrow, Thursday. I think right now I have about 160 miles worth of range, and I've realized that what I can do is I can drive my Jeep SRT on the weekends, and I can charge my car and on, let's say, Thursday or Friday, or preferably Sunday or whatever. But I can drive my Jeep SRT on the weekends and not use my electric car during the weekends, and I can drive it all through the week. And I can make it through the entire week on 300 miles worth of charge. But what I've noticed is when I go to the charger, usually I get there when there's nobody else there. But by the time my charging session is ending, people are starting to show up. Some of these motherfuckers, I'm not, I can't name names. I'm not going to really show pictures, but some of these motherfuckers, what they'll do is they'll see your car there. They'll walk up to the machine and they'll start touching the machine while you're using it. And they're looking to see how much time you have remaining. Now, the problem with my car is my car charges beyond the session. So for the session allotment, the machine basically gives you about 45 minutes, right? But it takes my car about an hour to charge. So my car will exceed the session and it will keep charging. I have free charging for 2 years and I intend to get every electron I can get. So you get these fuckers who start walking up to your machine while it's charging and they're looking at it and touching it and shit. And when I see that, I just start staring right at them. And I look right at them. It's like they act like, oh yeah, how much longer you gonna be, buddy? And all that bullshit. And I'm like, I'm gonna be as long as it fucking takes. That's how long it's gonna be. But people will walk right up to your machine and they start touching it. Imagine you're sitting in a parking space and imagine that your car is parked and somebody comes up to your machine and starts looking at your parking meter and starts touching it and shit. It's like, excuse me? It's like, unless you're planning on putting an extra quarter in there, don't touch my fucking parking meter. And that's the problem ultimately with public spaces. I've railed about the subway and I've railed about the bus and how much I hate the subway and the bus inside New York City. You've got homeless people stretched across the shit, taking up all the seats, and you can't do anything about it because they're there asleep and they may be irate fucking drug addicts. The only people who can do anything about it is the cops, and the cops don't want to do anything about it because they already know that these people are going to fight them and they're either going to have to tase them or put a bullet in their head. So the reality is the cops don't want to be bothered with it. All the cops want to do is get their pension and get their paycheck and come home, and that's it. They don't want to do nothing else. But they can't do that because in the city you've got people who are psychotic and irate, and they don't want to deal with that. So they just leave them alone. But the reality is, when you have to deal with anything in the public, now you're dealing with all types of random people with varying levels of mental illness, and you just don't want to deal with it. Now, me personally, once again, I love my car, and I have figured out how to be the early bird, and I get to the charging station before anybody else is there, and I'm charging. When I plug my car in, I usually go, I get maybe some lunch or some dinner or some breakfast, whatever time of the day it is. And then I come back and the car is basically finished. And then I, if I don't go grocery shopping, I get groceries and then I get back in my car and I leave. But until we get more chargers, it's like you run into a situation where, you're more likely to have a negative run-in with somebody who's a random, NPC, whatever you want to call them. And that's just what it is. And that's the reason why I know the Dodge Charger EV is not going to work well with the Dodge Charger buying audience or the Dodge Challenger buying audience. These people, a lot of them do not have houses. A lot of these people live in projects and apartment buildings. A lot of these people live with their parents. Their parents got a house. Their parents don't have a charger. Their parents have no intention of adding on an electric charger to their house. A lot of these people live in basement apartments and shit, especially here, because you got to remember, New York, New Jersey, the tri-state area, a lot of these people live in apartments. They don't have easy access to public charging. And that's just a reality. A lot of these people, they just want to get their gas, drive home, and then they want to scurry back to their apartment. And that's what it really comes down to. I'm not saying everybody doesn't have public charging or ability, and I'm also not saying everybody doesn't have a house. What I'm saying is a lot of these people don't. Now, once again, I got free charging for 2 years. That's the only reason why I use the public charger. Free charging for 2 years. That ultimately, over that 2 years, I'm literally saving about $10,000. Now, I'm using time to charge the car, but I'm literally saving close to $10,000, literally, because I've done the calculations based on how much energy I use every month.
Once that charging time is over, I will be charging exclusively at home. At that point, it makes no sense for me to use the public charger unless I go out of state. When Tesla opens up their superchargers, hopefully, they'll give out adapters to the Dodge Charger EV buying audience. But until they do, I have no intentions of taking my car far out of state because I don't know what the charging infrastructure is like in other states beyond New York. I know what it's like here, but I don't know. Like if I wanted to drive to Atlantic City, New Jersey, I'd have to check the maps and make sure I know where those EVgo chargers are because Atlantic City, to drive down there, that's a long ass drive. That's like, from where I am, that's like 200 miles. So I already know that by the time I get down there, I'm going to have like 20 to 30 miles of range left, and I'd be struggling to get to a charger only to not know how many people are going to be at the charger when I get there. See, with Tesla, it's a little bit more comfortable because they've put their chargers everywhere. Like nearby me, there's at least 4 banks of chargers that I know where they are, and I pretty much know that they're never really very, very crowded, except possibly during winter weather. So for the most part, until Tesla opens up their superchargers, I have no intention of using public chargers that I have to pay for. And I probably don't really have any intention of driving out of state. If I had to go that far out of state, I'd fly. So if I had to go to Florida, I'm flying. I'm not driving. Absolutely not. I would fly to Florida. I'd get there in 2 or 3 hours. And once I don't even think it takes that long, but it's like 2 hours. But once I get there, I'd rent like a minivan or some shit, and I just drive around in that while I'm there, give them the car back, come back home. I have no intentions of driving around America. So that's one major issue out of the way. The other thing I think that needs to be said is that Dodge under Stellantis, these guys have already slit their throats with this move towards electric cars. Without the V8 engine, there's no point for Dodge to even exist at all. There's no point for them to exist. The only thing that was keeping them relevant was that Hemi engine. Now, without that, they're dead. And I think the telling fact is that Stellantis is forcing you to wait an entire year before you're even allowed to get your hands on the turbocharged 6-cylinder. The twin turbocharged 6-cylinder that they currently have in the Wagoneer and a couple of the other cars that, or I should say the Jeeps or whatever, that they've just brought to market, that Hurricane engine. That engine, oddly enough, was pulled from Roadkill Nights. And I'm guessing it's because they knew it was underwhelming, and I guess they wanted more time to work on it. But regardless the reason, when this Charger EV debuts, there's no comparison available to the 6-cylinder because it won't be out for a whole nother year. So this is what they're ultimately doing. They're going to make the image of this car as an electric car, and they're not going to allow you to alter that image by making it unavailable for you to get the gas version. Now, any other company would probably launch the EV alongside the gas version. They're not doing that. And I know they don't want to do that because they want to perpetuate the image of this car as electric. Supposedly, the guy who's at the head of Stellantis would not allow Tim Kuniskis to buy electric vehicle credits in order to keep producing the Hemi. They said, you've got that Hemi? Well, we want to kill that Hemi. The Hemi's gone. And they did, I have to say, from their point of view, they did an excellent job destroying these cars. They did an excellent job. They didn't give you a Chrysler 300 Hellcat. Now, they knew that this was going to be the last call for the Chrysler 300 SRT. They stripped it of the SRT badge. They didn't give it a Hellcat engine. And then they put this old piece of shit out there and say, hey, if you want it, you can buy it. And that's it. And now the Chrysler 300 last call, whatever the fuck they called it, it's gone. I had the one that actually said SRT on it. I had that. And I'm so disappointed with them. I was like, at that point, I pretty much knew they were done. Then they put out that stupid Jeep Trackhawk, didn't give it a Hellcat hood, They didn't give it exciting wheels. It was just the same old product, just tossed out there. And they were like, yeah, oh, you want this? Yeah, just buy it, whatever. And they didn't give a fuck. And then went right behind themselves and put out the Dodge Durango Hellcat and actually made it look worthwhile. So they were like, yeah, we don't give a fuck. You know what? Yeah, we're Stellantis, we're Dutch. Fuck those Americans. We don't care about their egos. We're just gonna put this shit out there. And if these stupid motherfuckers buy it, good for them. And they do it. And that's the attitude. Europeans hate American cars. They really do. Like I heard Jeremy Clarkson, and I've heard a lot of these European car reviewers, and they go on and on about how shitty they are. They hate American cars, right? They don't give a damn about what you want. They look what they've been putting out. Maserati, Alfa Romeos, and shit cars nobody wants. Those cars are sitting on the lots not far from here. Tonalis, Quadrifaglios. Nobody wants that shit. And they've been putting that stuff out there. I've seen so few of those cars on the road. I could count them with like just one hand. I've seen so few of those cars. Like those high performance special, the Quadrifaglios. I've seen less than 10 of them. Less. And that's just what it is. They don't care. They just don't care. So that's the reality. It's like this shit is dead. This company, I give them less than 5 years before they go under. Like Stellantis is probably going to cut them loose. And because of regulations, they're still not going to be able to make V8 engines. Dodge is about to die. Chrysler's about to die. They've made it so that Chrysler has just one vehicle. It's a fucking minivan. Now, in 2006, they had the PT Cruiser. They had the 300. They had the Pacifica. It was like, back then you actually thought that they were actually doing something. Now, no, they're dead. The only concept that they got coming to market is an electric vehicle, and that's it. And everything else is a minivan. It's like they're dead. Stellantis is trying to kill them, and they're doing an excellent job trying to kill them. So that's basically that. That's all I really had to say. It's like it's over. It's over. Now I gotta say this. For all those people who ran out and bought Hellcats and they paid top dollar for them, for all those people who ran out and paid Scat Pack money and paid top dollar for them, you're probably sitting under so much depreciation and you're probably sitting so far underwater on those cars that the emotional bond that you have with those cars won't allow you to try to trade them in. And the depreciation, as long as that underwater balance that you're sitting on is going to make it so that you can't trade it in. So I have to say, I've been seeing fewer and fewer and fewer Mopars on the road. I think the smart people here anyway, I'm not talking about down south, but I think the smart people traded those cars in already, and they got like BMWs or they got like Infinities or Audis. They traded those cars in because I'm pretty sure that they saw that the value of the depreciation was dropping on those cars. I'm fairly certain that they traded a lot of those cars in already. When I go by used car lots, I'm seeing a lot of Hellcats sitting on used car lots. For example, when I bought my Lyric, that red-eye Hellcat that I saw, the one that was octane red, that car is still sitting on that lot. The person who traded that car in got a CT5V. And the CT5V is like $100 and something thousand, like $115,000. But that red eye that he traded in, that car is still sitting in the front of that lot. And that was back in January that I saw that car before they actually put it on the used car lot, because before that it was in preparation to be cleaned up and all that, and then they put it on the used car lot. That car's still sitting there. And I'm seeing more and more of these Hellcats being traded in. Now, part of the reason is those very high maintenance costs. You know, high brake costs. The rotors are $1,000 a piece. The tire wear is... Like, for instance, I have like 4,000 miles plus on my Lyric, right? And I haven't had to change those tires not once. And those are some Michelin tires, this, that, and other. But there's no burnouts, none of that. But on an all-wheel drive car, the tires last longer. The only downside is that when you have to get new tires, you usually have to repair 2 to 4 of them at the same time. Like on a rear-wheel drive car, you usually only have to repair one set at a time. But the bottom line is these maintenance costs on these things are driving people into the poorhouse. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people are being forced to sell these cars. The problem is you're taking losses because you're underwater on the balance. You paid too much. You paid over sticker, and you're underwater. Your insurance company, in most cases, does not insure the entire value of a car if you've paid over sticker. They only insure the sticker value. So it's pretty ugly from what I'm seeing. Like the car market right now, you're seeing more and more of these videos focusing in on Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram dealerships. It's like, oh no, the hype is dead. It's over. This Charger EV, mark my words, this car is not going to do well. People are not going to rush in to sell their Hellcats. Those who do are going to realize that their car has depreciated so much that they're not going to get what they want for it. I foresee that you're going to see a lot of private sales of Hellcats and even Scat Packs. You're going to see a lot of private sales, and people are going to be trying to demand enough money in order to make it so that they can pay off their balance. But the problem is, when these cars hit the market like that, they're not going to be able to get the amounts of money that they want because they're going to be demanding so much money. They're not going to be able to get the asking prices. It's not going to happen. For those people who are trying to upgrade to this 2024 Charger, I foresee that they're going to take huge losses. They're going to end up with a lot of negative equity. But here's the problem. Most of these dealers are not going to make those deals because the banks won't allow them to. Like, they're going to have so much negative equity, they won't be able to roll it into this new car. There's a lot of people who are going to want this car simply because it's new, and they're going to want to be the first person on the block with the new thing. So what Stellantis has done is they've put it into your mind, this is the new thing, and if you don't get this, then you're driving around in the old thing. Now, there are some people who will accept the fact that they have an old car. If they have a Hellcat, maybe they'll be happy about it. Yeah, I've got a Hellcat. My car is better than a new one. The reality is, everybody who sees the new one is going to be like, yeah, the new one's out. When are you getting the new one? They're going to be, oh, your car is old. When are you getting the new one? So this is what Stellantis has set up, basically. They've set up a situation where the new thing you don't want, but if you don't get the new thing, you're going to be driving around in the old thing. That's what they've set up. And if you want that new twin-turbo bullshit V6 engine, well, I'm sorry, i6 engine, that you can't even call it a V6 engine no more. It's like, think about it. They've changed this shit so much that you can't even say V6. That's what everybody understands. Everybody understands V6. Everybody understands V8. You can't even say V6 no more. They've changed this thing so much that most people don't even understand the product anymore. And that's what you're stuck with. The new thing you don't want, and the old thing you're stuck in, unless you go get the new thing, but you don't want the new thing. They really screwed y'all over. And when I say y'all, I cut ties with them. I was like, yeah, I'm done. I was like, I'm done. I'm going over Cadillac. Bye. After my lease is up, who knows? Maybe I'll get a Mercedes. Maybe I'll get I don't foresee myself buying any BMWs. But maybe I'll get a Mercedes, or maybe I'll get another Cadillac. Maybe I'll get a Cadillac Escalade electric IQ model. I don't know. I don't know what they'll have out in 3 years, because 3 years from now is a long time. I'm only 4 months in. And I just don't know. But we'll see what happens. But as far as this car, I think they screwed you over. I think they did it as brutally as they possibly could. And now you're going to have to make decisions. There's really not anywhere else you can really go. Nobody's offering any product that exceeds the Hellcat Charger or Challenger. Nobody. Nobody's offering a product that exceeds those cars. Ford sure as fuck is not. Nobody cares about no damn Dark Horse Mustang. That shit is boring. And then they have like, what is it, a GTD? Nobody cares about this shit. And then not only that, you ain't got $300,000. That's the reality. You know, unless you're buying Lamborghinis all the time, it's like you ain't got $300,000. Let's just be honest. So all these people, oh yeah, well if they start making V8s, I'm going to buy a Mustang. It's like, do you even hear yourself? It's like nobody wants no damn Mustang. What are you kidding? Nobody wants that. Unless the car is big, huge, and fucking fast, nobody wants it. And that's the reality. I'm sorry. So now it's all down to electric. So I hope you have a house. I hope you're, if you plan on getting this car, I hope you're getting ready to get your electric charger. And I hope you got an electrician to come in and plug this thing into the side of your house. Either that or I hope you've got a really long extension cord or whatever it takes. I don't know. But that's just where we are. That's just where we are. So that's all I have to say for right now. So I'm just going to put this video out there and see what the critiques and commentary are. But yeah, you're screwed.
To be continued.